You got yours on QuickBooks? No, it's the same. You guys have had the class already, so you guys already have the book. This is the first time I'm introducing QuickBooks to her, so.
Oh, okay.
All right, so to cut all that confusion. All right, everybody say hi. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
That was Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Mia. Suzanne and Tammy says hello, writing. Hi.
Hello, hello.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. If you guys have any questions, just ask me. There's a lot to go through, so you might want to wait until the end of the presentation so we can just run through them. And I'm just going to run through this. Some of you I'm going to have already coming up here this week, so if you want, you can just write your questions, and then when you see me personally, we can go over it a little bit more detail, okay? All right, here we go. Enter sales transactions with customers. To create an invoice, to record customer charges using the create invoice window, record customer payments using the receive payment window, and record deposits in the banking, where you go make your checks. You pull it down for the banking area, and you pull it down and it says create checks, do this, do that, or make a deposit, and you want to make a deposit. All right, customer list. Here is your customer module right here. On the right-hand side, you have all the invoices, payments, sales receipts on the bottom. You can also view your contacts, your to-dos, your notes, and send an email. You have some reports right here, and you have your customer information right here. Over here to the side is the actual customer and their balance. Is everybody familiar with this and they okay with this module?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. All right, recording sales. This is the home screen. If you guys remember your home area screen, you record sales, it's a cash. You do record sales receipt and then make the deposit. If it's a credit sales, then you have to create the invoice, record payment, and then make deposit. Is everybody good on that?
Yes.
That didn't
Yes.
sound very positive.
Yes.
Outstanding. All right, next. Here's a little bit more detail. Okay. If you select your customer right here, it'll pull up this invoice or this receipt, and you can show that it's cash, the date. You can show what they're paying for, whether it's taxed or non-taxable. You can put a message right here. You can show it to be print later or print right now. And this is just a little summary over here, guys, of the customer's information and any open balance they have. And if they have recent transactions like invoices or sales receipts or payments, it'll populate right here. And then here's just some notes. So this is just something handy you guys can look over when you're actually in a sales receipt. And then there's this tab right here. It's darkened, but you also have it available, and it gives you a detailed list of every transaction they did. So if you're over here doing this and wondering if you've already had a sales receipt for this amount, you could always tap on this transaction and it'll pull up a little history to show you, okay, well, you already entered this. All right, so you populate this with all this information right here, and you guys, I'll have this live lecture put up tomorrow for you in the morning, so you guys can review this as well when you're doing your homework. You can review it slower if you'd like. And also there's the 3 PowerPoint slides. And this week, this is all this information I'm pulling from there. There's a little bit more detail in those PowerPoint slides because I'm not going over everything, but a lot of more detail can be accessed that way. And also at the bottom of these PowerPoint slides, it also tells you what chapter I'm in, okay? So you guys need help on a certain idea or project for this, you just look at this and it's chapter 4, and it'll help you narrow down where you need to look for. All right, so let's move on. Is everybody okay with this? How to record a sales receipt? That's if someone's paying you cash.
Yep.
Do you guys remember what this sales receipt is? It's an invoice and a received payment all in one, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. All right, credit sales. On credit sales, you have to create an invoice because you got to show that they owe us. So you go and create an invoice, and it's kind of set up like your sales receipt. The only difference is it's going to show that they owe down here instead of they paid, okay? So it's the same concept, and then you have the same information over here as well, and the same information up here. The only difference is basically one's a sales receipt and one's an invoice. Okay, to receive payment, here's a home screen again. You just hit receive payment, and you tell the QuickBooks who you received it from, how much, the date, the check, if it's a check right here. And then you just click on what invoices they're paying. So if there's 10 here and you only have a certain invoice that needs to be paid, you click on that individual invoice. Or if there's 10 here and it's paying for all 10, you click on all 10. And then you hit save and close. Now, here's another reason, another way you can do the cash sales. You can enter everything as an invoice if you want. And if someone pays you cash, you can go and do the invoice, then do the receipt payment, and then show cash right here. You can also do a credit card payment here, and you can process credit card payments through QuickBooks if you pay the extra amount. If you're not paying the extra amount, but you just want to show that it's a credit card, then you can do that right here. Same as e-check. And you can also add more if there's a certain way you want to do it. Some payments are through trade. Like I'm gonna trade this product out for your product, and then you'll show it going through the companies, and then it'll be a trade, and you just need to flush it through an account. And that's something I can show you later if you want. But right now I'm not going to get into it because it'll get confusing for you guys with your homework, and I don't want to confuse you on your homework. So I'm going to rear myself back up and go on. All right. Record deposits. So if you have a sales receipt or if you have a invoice and a payment, once you receive the payments, you've got to go and record the deposit. The way I look at it as, if you go and have someone give you the money, you have the money, you make the deposit slip. That's you recording the deposit in QuickBooks, and then you take it to the bank. That's you saving the deposit in QuickBooks, okay? And putting it into the bank account. So that's what you do with QuickBooks. You just follow the same steps you would as a physical, making a physical deposit. So you record the deposit. You pick what goes on a deposit slip. You can have 10 checks go on a deposit slip, or cash, or no on credit cards. If you're doing credit cards usually run by themselves. Now you can have 5 or 6 credit cards on one deposit, that's fine, but you don't usually intermingle cash, check, and credit cards on one deposit. So you need to watch out for that if you see someone doing that, because the credit cards are automatically deposited where you're going to actually deposit the checks and the cash itself. Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Here is the make deposit window. You've got your checking account you want to go to, the date, and you pick what you want to go on that deposit. Does anybody see that this can be similar to an actual deposit slip you take to the bank account? How you got the date and the people's name and then the total?
Yes.
Thank you, Mary.
I've never seen a deposit slip, so I don't know.
Go ahead, Mia. What was that?
I've never seen a deposit slip. They before I got a bank account, they pretty much stopped using them.
Oh, you stopped using them? Okay. Well, a deposit slip, thank you, Mia. I was going to get ready to ask someone else to answer besides Mary. So thank you. Deposit slip usually has your bank account listed on it. It has the date. It has a breakdown of each check or each cash transaction, or a summary of the cash transactions. And then at the bottom it totals. And then it has an individual number of how many items you have in that deposit. So you write that out, you total it, you put it in a bank bag with your actual deposit, and then you take it to the bank. What QuickBooks is doing is you take it and you do the same thing in QuickBooks, and then you save it into your bank account, which is this checking account right here. So you save it into the bank. So what this does is it pulls it from the payment window that you just paid everything, and it pulls it from that, which is called undeposited funds, which is right here. It pulls it from there, and it puts it into your bank account. So this is you telling QuickBooks, take it out of that account and put it into my bank account, so my bank account balance will increase with my deposit. And that's what this function is for. Does that help any, Mia?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Customer payments are entered using the receive payment in undeposited funds, or a customer payment received but not deposited yet. That's what I was just talking to you guys about. Okay, non-sales receipts. If you get in a payment and it doesn't have anything to do with the normal daily activity of your business, like your actual revenue, you actually earned it, then you need to just record it in your receive payment window, or receive deposit. Sorry, you need to record it in the deposit area where you make a deposit, and you just okay, here it is. All right, so you fill it out basically the same way. The only difference is you don't include, you know how you, right here, you clicked who you wanted to, where'd it go? It's going in the, there we go. This is where you choose it. When you open up your make deposit window, this pops up and you get to choose, you get to check who you want to put on your deposit slip. Well, when it's an individual that has like maybe refunded you on your utilities, you're not going to put that in a receive payment window from a customer. So you're just going to put it straight into your make deposit window and just put information in there of what it was. If it's $72, we're just going to say $72. And then we'll put it here utilities, because it's a refund. We'll put refund. And this one is just investment. Where Rock Castle Capital Investment, he invested $72,000 in the business. So he's entering it directly into the make deposit window. He's doing this so it'll go into his bank account. Now you could either do a journal entry or you can do the make deposit. I recommend deposits when you get investments, or when you get a refund on your utilities or your insurance, or something along those lines, because it populates into your bank account, one, and two, it helps you reconcile the bank later on. Okay, it's easier to do the reconciliation better. All right, so you just fill it out, follow the steps in QuickBooks, and you're good to go. On these make deposit windows, you can always print your deposit slips. You can do a summary or you can do a detailed deposit slip. It's your choice what you want. I generally do a summary, and then I staple it onto any documentation I have, like the deposit slip from the actual bank account. Generally, the businesses like to have a copy of that saved, and you really have to have it saved for the income tax purposes. You got to save stuff like that for about 7 years when you're in a business. Hello, who is that?
Who's what doing what?
Someone just rung in.
Oh, that's because something happened where they probably knocked her out the season. The very last one, the one with the S.
Uh-huh.
Something happened where it knocked her out, so she
Oh,
must
it
have just
knocked her out? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I pay attention to everything, y'all.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So does everybody understand how to do these deposits? Suzanne, I noticed you missed it. Mary said you got kicked off. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I can set aside some time and help you out, okay?
She must be having difficulty with her internet or something.
I think she is. Okay, I'll just email her later. All right, access customer reports. You guys, I'm pulling some of this stuff because I noticed it's what was going to be on some of your finals or some of your assignments. This is annoying me. It's like only showing half my head or something. Is that better? Okay. So you guys need to know how to pull up these reports. If you go to customers and receivables, this is where you'll be able to pull up all your customers, your customer list, your AP aging or AR agings, just any type of report pertaining to your customers. You also have it for your vendors as well, for payroll, for employees. You have your banking reports right here. If you need just a customer list, it would be located here as well, guys. Same way with the vendors. Your banking, you can pull up previous recs. You can pull up either the detailed ones or the summary ones. You can pull up missing checks numbers because it'll do some missing checks to let you know you're missing these types of check numbers. And that's a lot of fun and interesting things that you can find in all these reports. So you guys should kind of look at it a little bit when you have a little bit more time. All right. Vendor screen. Here's the vendors list, set up just like your customers list, guys. You got your vendors information, then you got detailed transactions of that month right there. And then you've got your vendor and their specific transactions and all their information right here. And you have your reports, just some quick reports. Okay, item list. Item list is what goes onto your inventory list. It is also what is used for your expenses and bills as well on certain things, like if it has to do with your inventory. So you need to be very detailed when you make up these item lists, and they're very helpful within QuickBooks because you're telling QuickBooks to go to several different places. And they can be several different things. They can be service items, inventory items, and non-inventory items. Okay, how to create a purchase order. How to receive inventory, receive bills, pay bills, and print checks. All right under your vendor screen. And again, I don't know if you guys remember me saying this before in the QuickBooks, that QuickBooks follows the business flow. So you've got the flow of your vendors, the flow of the customers, okay? Create invoices. First you do estimates, and then you create invoices, and you receive the payments. If you don't receive a payment from them, then you send them a statement and a finance charge. But if you do receive a payment from them, then you record the deposit and it goes into the bank. Same way with employees. They got the time. You take your time, you pay them. Then you pay your liabilities. You create your reports for the liabilities. And then the banking, you've got deposits, write a check, and print checks, and then reconcile. And here's another way to get to some of these screens. You got all your chart of accounts, your inventory, your items and services, and your calendars. I like these calendars because it tells you everything that you've entered for that day, and it kind of lets you know. So if you're wanting to go back and look at something that you entered from that day, you can go to that calendar and click into it, and it'll pull it up for you. It's really nice. All right, select purchase order. Okay, this is kind of set up just like your invoices to your customers, guys. You've got the name, got the option of printing. This is the template you use. And you've got your vendor with your transactions, your notes, and then more detailed transactions over here. And then you've got your item number, which would be the same thing as like if you did your customers. You know, you purchase blinds and then you're turning around and selling them to your customer. You'd pull it into the customer invoice. Well, here it is, you actually purchasing it for them. So you pull up all the information and you enter your information and you save it. Once you save it, you can receive items against it, against that purchase order. And you come in here and you receive your items. It says open purchase orders exist for this vendor once you pull this name up. Once you pull this name up and this populates, you can say yes, and it will pull all that information that you have on your purchase order into this for you. So it's less data entry. It's really nice. And then you can turn around and pull it up into your bill itself. See how it pulls it up right here. And then enter bill. And then you just select it and enter it into your bill, and it pulls it all up for you. So if you create the purchase order, you can pull it through, all the way through to your bill. And you're only doing the data entry once. The other stuff, you know, pulling it through to receive items and actually entering the bill is just a couple of button pushes, you know, so it's really nice. All right, now we need to pay it. In order to go pay it, you would do custom or vendors, and then the vendors tab, and then pay bills. This will pop up when you pay the bill, and then you just select which ones you want with the date, and then you're going to say I want it to pay with a check, and then you'll pay with what type of check, and then you'll tell it the bank account. This is the signed check number. This is like if you're going and you're not printing the checks, but you're going and doing past transactions that have already occurred for somebody. So you're going in there and you're entering the stuff and that's already occurred and you don't need to print the checks. Then you need to just do a signed check numbers, and that's what this is for. You'll actually enter the check numbers in there. The method right here, you can pay by check, or you also can pay by credit card. So that's really nice to have too. You can click this and pull it down, and if you have credit cards, it'll let you pay credit cards, and if you have them set up right, they'll populate right here. It's really nice because you will have people that pay with credit cards, pay their bills, especially small companies. Some of the bigger ones do too. So it's nice to know that option right there. All right, this is where you take your suggested discounts if you're paying early and credits. You just highlight what you want and click on one of these, and it'll pull up a screen and you can go through it and just follow the steps. Recording bills for service such as utilities or accounting services requires 2 steps. You got to enter bills and pay bills. So you just do the same process. You enter the bill and you actually pay the bill. All right, vendor reports. We just went over it a little bit ago. Here we went over the accounts receivable, the customers. Here's the vendors now. And it's got AP aging, AP summary, graphs, balances by vendors, It's vendor list here. There's all kinds of reports here. Here's like a breakdown of what reports are. Accounts payable report shows how much do we owe. Purchase reports show how much we've purchased, and inventory reports show how much inventory do we have at that time. All right, let's get into bank recs. To reconcile a bank statement to your balance, you want to be able to detect errors, update accounting records for unrecorded items. That's why you do this on a monthly basis. If you have your QuickBooks linked to your online bank account, you could do this on a daily or even weekly basis as well. So you don't have to wait a full month to do this. And I recommend doing it that way because you find transaction errors a lot quicker. Okay. Here's your home screen. You just click on the reconcile button. It brings up this module right here, and you just make sure that you have the right checking account, the correct statement date, and you want the end statement date that's on the bank balance statement. You want to make sure your beginning balance matches the bank statement, and the ending balance you'll have to type in, and you want to make sure you match it. And then this is where you put a service charge if you have one, and this is where you'll put interest if you've got a bank account that you earn interest on. These items right here will populate over here. Okay. Once you finish this and click continue, it'll pop up this screen right here, and then you just click on what has cleared on your bank statement. Once you have done that, right here it tells you your ending balance, and then it tells you what has cleared. What this means is this is whatever you have clicked on both sides of this screen. Okay? If you want to know separately what deposits have cleared and what checks have cleared, then you go over here. And this will say you have 5 deposits checked for this amount, or you have 4 checks for this amount. Once this says 0, you can reconcile. If it does not say 0, if it has a difference on it, you need to go and double check everything and make sure everything's ordered correctly. You have a discrepancy either on the bank's end or your end, and you need to figure out what it is. That being said, if it's a penny, you guys don't want to spend more than 1 hour searching for a penny, do you? Why would that be? Did everybody sleep on me?
What was the question?
Not me.
There we go. Why would you not want to search over an hour for a penny when you're doing a bank rec?
Because it's probably just a mistype.
Exactly. It's a mistype, and you don't want to spend a lot of money looking for a cent, correct?
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Am I putting you guys to sleep, or are you just really tired?
I was trying to let other people speak.
I'll give you that one, Mary, because you were talking quite a bit a minute ago. Oh, okay. I'm just teasing you guys.
Me too.
All right. All right, Suzanne, I understand you're kind of confused right now because this is the first time you saw the QuickBooks. So we will set up a time for us to review some of this stuff so you can get through this week, okay? Email me after the lecture and we'll set something up, okay?
Bless her heart.
Huh?
Said, bless your heart. It's fun once you get to know it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a lot of fun once you get to know it. I love QuickBooks. All right. Here's some of the differences on your bank statement versus your bank books or your books, your actual books and QuickBooks. Just errors, or you got the timing differences. So maybe you got some deposits recorded and you actually went and took them to the bank, but they haven't been inputted into the bank yet. So that would be one way. Or you have some checks you wrote and you've already handed them out to people, but they haven't cleared the bank yet. That would be another time difference. Errors would be just miskeying. And believe it or not, banks miskey you guys. So you need to be diligent on keeping records so you can show them, hey, this is the right amount. You guys keyed it wrong, or you put it in the wrong account. We need it changed. Okay?
Gotcha.
Okay. If you have records to back yourself up, you're a lot, it's a lot easier. A lot easier. Okay. And this is just what we just talked about. And we already went over this. I don't know why it's on there again.
Because they want to make sure we get it.
Finally, someone gets me. All right. These are the main reports that you need to focus on in QuickBooks for your business. General ledger, which you do not want to print out, because you got to think a year worth of data can turn into hundreds, if not thousands of pages. So you just want to kind of review it. If you're going to print it out, you only want to print out a few pages at a time, just what you need. You can also manipulate QuickBooks where you can just do a few days at a time if need be. You got your profit and loss, your balance sheet, and your statement of cash flows. These are all reports that your CPA will ask for, and generally you don't have to print them. You can actually save them to disk and then just email them to them or take them up there to them. Look at me saying save it to disk. Save it to flash drive. I just showed my date there, girls. Showed my age real easily. Save it to a flash drive, and then you can just take it to the CPA so they can do your financials for you. But I recommend printing out a profit and loss, a balance sheet, and a statement of cash flows just to keep on record for yourselves. And also I recommend when you're doing the bank recs to print out at least a summary of that and staple it onto your actual bank statements. And that just shows that they were done, and it lets everybody know they were done and you balanced. So that's backup documentation. It's very key to have that documentation in QuickBooks, documentation and accounting. You just want backup. You want that paper trail that the accountants can follow. You want the paper trail that the CPAs can follow, and you want the paper trail that the IRS auditors can follow. So you want backup after backup after backup. So keep that paper trail going. I know we're going digital in a lot of things, and the IRS does accept digital receipts now. So that is another way to back up your information, okay? You can save it digitally, and the IRS will accept that as an original document. So save everything. If you're wanting to shred stuff, load it up on a digital file, shred what you don't want, and save that document in a safe place, preferably in a safe, your flash drive, okay? Does anybody have any questions?
No.
No.
All right, we have homework that is due at 11:59 on Saturday. I can't accept anything afternoon on Sunday, guys. I have to get grades turned in early. I've been getting them turned in on Wednesday, and they're supposed to be in before Wednesday for the end of the month. So we need to have everything turned into me no later than Sunday. I am here to help you guys all through the week, and I will help you. Just come in and I'll tutor you, or we can do Zoom tutoring as well. You don't have to physically be here if you can't make it. We can Zoom tutor or Facebook tutor. Facebook's has a little area that you can use this camera and see each other and talk. There's other avenues if you can't physically make it in here, and I can help you go through this QuickBooks if you need it. I know that you guys will love it once you get used to it because it is pretty awesome and it's easy once you catch on. I can help you all week, but I cannot help you with that final exam. So if you have any questions, you need to make sure you have it done and question me before you hit that final exam, okay? You guys sure you don't have any questions?
I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. Has anybody tried the homework this week?
No.
No.
I have.
How's it going?
Well, it's already projects that I did in my last class.
Okay. The Larry landscaping?
Yes.
Yes. And I think the final project is one that you haven't done yet. But the Larry's landscaping for the assignments, yeah, we've already did some of those in previous classes. You're just adding on or reprinting reports, correct?
Right.
And then you're just doing your analysis of what it thinks or what you think, your take on everything. So you haven't had any trouble pulling up from previous reports or anything?
No, not at all.
Awesome. Okay. Outstanding. Well, if you run into any problems before this weekend, just let me know and we can touch base, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay. Are you leaving me?
Nah, not yet.
Okay. Yep. That's it. You guys can go if you want. If you have questions, you can stick around and I'll answer your questions. If we have appointments this week, I'll see you on these appointments. And if that's it, I'll tell you guys a good night. See, we didn't even take the full hour. We did good.
Oh.
Aw, you can stick around for the full hour if you want to.
Okay, I sit here and look at you and listen to you talk some more. Go.
Extra points.
I'm definitely staying. Start. I
Can you
need
hear
those
me?
extra points.
I miss you guys. You and Amy haven't been in to see me all month, you know. I'm excited you guys coming in this month or this week.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it works.
Yeah, it works.
I might have to reschedule for Wednesday. I forgot I have a funeral to go to.
Uh-oh. Okay, so what time?
I might try Tuesday, if you can.
Okay, let me look at my schedule and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
And I'll email you and let you know what time.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Hi, Mary.
Awesome.
Hi.
All right, guys. Do you guys have any other questions?